send a private message to the individual concerned. And, you know, it's also sensationalism. That's what attracts all of us. We all love the good gossip. I mean, what would life be like if we are not able to gossip about our friends and laugh at their mistakes, you know, and they laugh at ours? So it's all the sensationalism. But you as a decent individual, you know, you caution yourself. The buck lies with you.
The buck lies with you.
And it's a free-for-all thing.
Yeah.
You know, someone comes there and about a particular person. Are they? These things just came from nowhere, and we embraced it 101%. For example, can I sue if somebody does or says something about me that is, you know?
Of course. Papers. If somebody wrote...
Still on rules, I see social media being a little more slippery than most other things. You know, there's a way, yes, even with the rules, people are able to circumvent, go around it and still come out in one form or the other, unless you say, hey, bang, like the federal government did recently, that, okay, we're going to just
ban for now.
Ban, you know, without caring whose ox is God, you know. So what don't you think that people may see some of the media rules as being restrictive? And then how else do you think government, for instance, you know, can help protect us?
Definitely, there's always going to be a rebellion against anything that seems restrictive. And for me, I believe that the people are the government. And that's where your humanity actually comes in, to ensure that what you put out there is actually, what you put out there is true, is kind. You know, those little things. Is it kind? Is it true? Will it benefit somebody else? So we are the government. The government, you know, we elect them and we are the government every day. So if you see something that is unpalatable, that you think is wrong, you can, whatever the authorities, I think on the Instagram, for instance, you can always send a message that you don't like this, and they'll ask you your reasons.
Yes.
So we are the people, we can do that.
So it's like being self-regulatory.
It is, because let's face it, the internet, the social media, it's really big. It's really difficult for somebody to regulate. So we have to, you know, be self-regulating in this instance.
But unfortunately, a lot of people are not educated on some of, you talk to etiquette, even the basic, you know, ways of relating with one another on a normal way. A lot of people really are not they're not interested in learning, you know, what it means, how to be a human being to the next person. So when you talk social media, and it as huge as it is an all-commerce thing, it becomes a lot more difficult. But we'll go away from...
And a lot of it has also been used for good. So, or maybe if you see if there maybe 100%, maybe 20 people are dragging people, the 80 people that there's so many feel-good stories on the Instagram, on those social media apps. There's so many feel-good stories that even inspire others to do good. So
we, you know, to make it work better for us.
I think we've already done that as a people, because there's so many apps there's so many posts. I love Instagram, so I will talk about that. There's so many posts on Instagram that actually talk about our values, our love for music, our love for food. There's so many food blogs. There are even language blogs. One of my favorites is social media. For me, has been a way of even letting me. I've been on that train to Ibadan many times.
As if you were there, you know, practically they know it. We will be back.
Thanks for staying with us. We have an etiquette expert speaking to us on social media as a tool and way of life. Now, Yeye, before the advent of social media, we survived as people, you know, as a people. Now, and we did that beautifully.
Like the whole world is in your pocket.
Oh, yes.
If you have access to them, they definitely have access to you. And at
Exactly.
times it can be really, really overwhelming. So when I was writing my book, one of the things I came across was the concept of unplugging. I'd never, it had never occurred to me that you can actually put your phone down. But if you notice, I said earlier that you buy the phone and you buy the data. So really, it shouldn't be controlling you. You should be controlling it. So the whole idea of unplugging is you could start small. In my book,
Whole world.
I'm telling you.
the few hours you're on there socializing and then you go. I also always advise that when you are going on, have an intention.
Yes.
Why am I going on this? What am I going to do? And how long do I plan to spend on this phone?
Yes.
If you are one of the people that are unable to put the phone down for large amounts of times, there are actually things on the phone, apps that restrict your use of some social media. So you can put an app on that. Okay, you just use it 1 hour a day. And maybe on certain days, health and internet use. But we see it all the time. There are other studies that teenagers, for instance, that use social media, they're more likely to have body image issues because they see the perfect bodies.
Yes.
The influencers have the perfect bodies, and So, if you can, it's always a good thing to do. Just put it away.
If you can.
If you can, yes.
Yes.
And
But
that
start small.
Start small. Start small, because as you said all the time. So, but this is very cool advice, and we hope we can try it out.
Think about it this way: when you're sleeping, for the 7 or 5 hours you're sleeping, you're not online, and the world still goes on. You're not missing anything.
Yes. We're not missing anything. But first,
That we can put some apps that will tell us how many hours we can. Are there other things that we can do to help us, get more benefits from the...
I love Instagram. So if your feed, you can design your feed so you see what it is you want to see. So for instance, if you love crocheting or you like knitting, what will come up on your apps will be, that. What will come up on your feed will all be that. Then if you're into maybe design, do it yourself, it's all AI, artificial intelligence. So you can actually train it to pop your interest will pop up. So you can do that.
Yeah.
There's all the things that you can do. If you like feel-good stories, you make sure that all your feed brings up are feel-good stories. They don't bring up the mean things. And if there's anything you see that you don't have control, everything pops up. It's like when you spoke about the mind, you do have control over your mind. You can regulate your thoughts. So you can now decide, look at it this way. How do you want to feel through the day? Because one of the things about mindlessly feeding off on the social media is that it brings you feelings of envy. When you see other people's lifestyle looking much nicer than you, because I want to be all. So for me, that's why when it comes to the etiquette, especially for interactions, I'm very keen on working with children, because if they can crack that code at a younger age, it really, really does help with life on the long run. Yes,
it does. And you cosmopolitan.
It was said that everywhere you see a Coca-Cola bottle, the CIA was there. So now, if anywhere you see that the tower that looks like the Eiffel Tower, the communication tower, don't worry, the internet is there. So I don't think anybody can actually hide from it. It's been, I keep going on about the goodness of the internet and the goodness of the social media, because in rural areas where they probably might need a doctor, and there's one said this morning